I actually first learned about U.S. Plastic Corp probably about 10 years before I ever came here. My career before I joined U.S. Plastic was in higher education, and I actually used to use Stanley Tam and U.S. Plastic as a case study in one of my business classes. At the time, obviously not having any idea I'd eventually end up here. That's how I first heard about it. Okay, well, my role is as the Chief Financial Officer, and I oversee several areas in the company, one of them being accounting and finance. Another one is the Information Technology Department, and also Human Resources. Been here about 13 years. The heartbeat of United States Plastic Corporation is to use our for-profit company to further God's kingdom, but specifically to help fund overseas evangelism. Well, the most obvious way that God is using the business to further evangelism around the world is that we do every single year dividend several $1 million to support overseas missions through the ECC group within OMS International. But one of the things on a day-to-day basis we do is we want U.S. Plastic to be a different kind of place to work. And we have worked very hard on that over the past few years, and I believe we've achieved that. We're one of the preferred places to work within Lima. Even though United States Plastic is an organization, a for-profit organization that has the challenges and issues that any other company has, we want to reach out to our employees, and we do that in a variety of ways. We want to try to instill in our employees a feeling of being interested in ministry. We are very upfront with everybody about both before they agreed to join us as an employee, but then after they've been here. We want them to know what we're about. They all know that we fund overseas evangelism. They hold us, I think, to a higher level of expectation as an employer as well. And we do various things to reach out to them with a chaplaincy program, and you'll see Bible studies sometimes for employees here. Not everybody here has accepted Christ or is a Christian, but many have. Most of the management team are born-again, committed Christians, and I think if you talk to all of them, you would find that the vast majority are here because of the mission of the company. It's not just a job to us. I think discipleship means coming alongside people in kind of a mentoring relationship, one-on-one, preferably, to help them grow in Christ, to help them know what that means, to give them the tools they need, to give them the feedback they need. As a discipler, I think it's very important to be transparent, and we try to be that kind of leaders here. Just coming alongside to meet needs and encourage people to keep going and fighting the good fight. Well, in terms of the organization and the specific ministry that we fund, people can donate to ECC through OMS directly. They don't have to do that through U.S. Plastic. If you want to be involved with U.S. Plastic and support that ministry, probably the best way is to use us as a supplier of the products that we sell. Well, U.S. Plastic is primarily a business-to-business seller. We view ourselves as marketers and distributors of a wide variety of plastic products. We do have some consumer products, but primarily the bread and butter of our company is business to business. We exclusively market through catalogs and the internet. We don't have an outside sales force at this time. We also don't do outside sales calling out of our call center. The first thing I would say about Stanley is just very inspirational. I mean, I think about him regularly. My coming here was really due to his story and the inspiration it was to me. I was involved in higher ed prior to this. I happened to know the person that I replaced, and when he felt called to leave and go somewhere else, he got a hold of me, and because of what I knew about Stanley and the ministry of U.S. Plastic, it was appealing and something that we prayed about and obviously decided that God wanted us here. Stanley, to me, is probably one of the best examples I can think of what God can do through somebody that just sells out, that isn't afraid to step out into the unknown, that just trusts God and to take him where he wants him, but once he's there to equip him to succeed. Stanley reminds me you need to have a big vision. I think that's one of a lot of our problems. That's one of mine, is I don't think I always think big enough. God thinks big, and I think Stanley tied into that, and God has blessed him richly and all of us through him because of his obedience. Well, I know that the book God Owns My Business, after many years, continues to be an effective tool. People read that. When visitors come to U.S. Plastic, we give them a copy of that. And a lot of times when new folks come in, they will tell us, hey, I've already read that book, and they have looked us up because they have read it and they want to see more. There are numerous examples that we have heard of people that drive past here. Millions every year drive by U.S. Plastic and see the sign. It's very easy to see, it's hard to miss, and I-75 is a very major thoroughfare, a north-south thoroughfare in the country, so a lot of people see it, but many people have been saved by seeing that sign. And I think a lot more than we know of. I mean, people have reached out to us to let us know, but there are fabulous stories, for instance, of truck drivers that park their truck out in front of the building by the side of the road, jumped the fence and ran in and say, I got to talk to the guy that owns this place. And Stanley would lead them to Christ. It's really amazing to see how God has used even something like that. Because I want to make a difference with my life. You know, the older I get, the more I understand that I am investing my life. I am spending it. And I want to spend it in a way that counts, that matters, that God can use. You know, obviously you can be a financial person at a wide variety of companies, but I like to be able to think, especially on the hard days. You know, everything is not perfect at U.S. Plastic all the time. We deal with issues, but it helps to remember why I came here and why I'm here and what the company is about and what God is doing. It's a ministry to me. It's not just a vocation. You know, one of our goals here at U.S. Plastic is to try to spread Stanley's vision of what God can do through business and through a company. You know, we want to reach out to folks via the money that we give to support missions, but I would encourage other business owners or business executives that are really wondering, how can I use my skills, how can I use my business to further God's kingdom in a way maybe that you have not before, to consider the story of Stanley and U.S. Plastic, and, you know, ask God if something like that might be in your future, if He'd want you to do that.
If you know of a ministry that we need to know about, please give us a call, 888-641-8606, or take a look at our website, revelationstv.org.